y'all. Welcome to our main topic, the weight we carry. Ooh,
Yes, Lord.
the weight we carry. So we're gonna ask each other a couple questions. So, what does it mean when people say the body keeps the score or the body remembers?
The body keeps the score
The body. You never heard of
or
that?
the body
You
remembers.
never heard people
I
saying that?
guess I never heard the body keeps the score,
Yeah, the body keeps the score.
but the body remembers.
The body remembers.
Yeah, I highly understand what that body remembers. It become like you get that little feeling when
Hmm.
you've been through something before, or like, damn, this
Is this
was a
about to happen again?
yeah, this is
Hmm.
the smell I smelled. This is the energy it was when this happened the last time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I get what they said, but what was the beginning of that? What it says, what does that
What
mean?
does like what does it mean when people say that?
Yeah, when people say that, they really mean that the body never forgets. It soaks up everything like a sponge.
Yeah, everything.
You know what I
Seriously.
mean? For real,
Mhm.
for real.
I love that. I love that.
My question for you is, can behaviors that are labeled toxic sometimes begin as attempts to remain? I'm gonna say
Yeah.
that again.
Yeah. Go ahead.
A lot of words. Can behaviors that are labeled toxic sometimes begin as attempts to remain safe?
Yes. Yes. I feel like trauma brings behaviors because now we are defensive. Now we're not like we don't want to be defenseless. So
Mm,
now our bodies react and now it remembers like this is what I went through and hell no I'm not going through this. So I'm gonna behave like that. Or like this person did me wrong, therefore I'm gonna watch everybody else that
I
comes
never heard that
around.
perspective.
You feel me? I'm gonna watch everybody else that comes around like this person so I don't get hurt, so then I become like I get a trait and then basically the trait is that now I'm like watching everybody's back even though everybody doesn't have the fault for that one person that did. That could be a sense of trauma, a
Mm,
sense of trait that we could pick up, and not only on that, I feel like it's on everything, not only relationships, but like the way we just work ethics, um, basically everywhere it shows up in your life. You do pick up traits because of your trauma.
are we making excuses for people who are toxic
Are we making
by
excuses for
saying
people
it's
that
their
are
trauma
toxic?
that's the reason that they're acting this way?
I don't think I don't think excuses. I mean, yeah, some people do make excuses, but at the end of the day, like I feel like when people understand what other people have been through, it just makes it easier for you to navigate with that person. You know what I mean? Once you know
Mm,
that person's traumas. And not only that, like, when I see somebody behave in a certain way, I'm like, oh, this person must have been through something. So I always keep that in mind, just because, awareness, the older you get, the more awareness you get. So you understand why people move certain ways.
I like that.
Yeah.
Very well said.
Thank you. All right. My question to you is what is the difference between being naturally cautious and living permanently in survivor mode?
Hmm. What's the difference from being naturally
Cautious.
cautious,
Mm-hmm.
and being in survival mode?
Between.
I ain't gonna lie, it ain't no between.
Mhm.
There's no in between. Because where did this natural cautious come from? There's no such thing as naturally cautious. These, like we just said, like the body keeps account.
Yeah.
So the body remembers when it has to be cautious.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna continue to remember, like, hey, be cautious in these scenarios. So I just feel like it's always a trauma response and a way to protect yourself, but you got to be aware when it's too much and too little.
Yeah. And
You
I
know what I
guess
mean?
living in survival mode too could be like that's all you're worried about. You're not really living your life because of things that you've gone through. So you're
Yeah,
not really like living life. You're just in survival mode because
yeah.
of the shit that you've been through.
And to better
Yeah.
talk about that, it's moments where, say you advanced your life, you made it where no, you can afford a duplex, your kids straight. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? You got this money, but you still acting as if you in survival mode.
Yeah.
You still like
And I
eating
feel like that happens to a
in
lot of
ways, you
people
know?
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. My question to you is how can we acknowledge generational trauma without treating our families or community as permanently broken? AKA, the trauma that your parents put you through.
Hmm.
You feel me? How do we acknowledge that and still like move
Man,
with discernment and move with knowing that these people are not adding to
Damn.
healing your trauma. They're adding to, you know, make
Keeping
it
this shit,
worse.
yeah, keeping this shit
So it's like that.
alive and well.
What do you think of that?
Man, that's a very deep question because
Yeah.
honestly, we only gonna keep it real on the Black Dreamer Show, man. That's something I'm going through right now.
Yeah.
It's like understanding that what you believe in and what you stand for
Yeah.
and your moral value doesn't line up to what your family does.
Yeah.
And
But how can you keep that relationship going, knowing that it's so broken?
I'm never finna act like I got all the answers. I'm trying to
Yeah.
figure that out right now in life.
Yeah.
Because those relationships that you want to keep, you love these people, you want to keep family striving for the next generations, right? But it has to be a brief moment where you probably got to do some
They
self
have to
work.
do the work too. Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess you kind of like got to spoon feed it to them or tell them in a way. Everything always leads to communicating properly.
Yeah.
So if you can, when you can find the words
Mm-hmm.
and write it down, I advise everybody to start writing it down, the things you want to address to people,
Yeah.
because that way you can really let it out and everything ain't just in your head. So
Yeah.
that's one thing I'm
Maybe
gonna
write
do.
a letter.
Yeah, write it out and be
Yeah.
like, this is just where I stand in life right
Mm-hmm.
now. And
And if you don't want to give it to them, just burn it. Put it in the air. Do what I like to do. Put it in water. Watch it dissolve.
yeah,
Definitely just try to get it out your heart. I feel like I appreciate you and I honor you for, putting your story out there too. But just me as somebody that, just here with you, I would advise you to maybe do that actually. And I love that that came to me like that
mm,
because maybe that's a way of like putting it in the air for them too.
yeah,
Or
I
just
like
kind
that.
of getting it out your chest in a way too. Mainly for you. But yeah,
No, that's fire. That's fire.
I love it.
My last question is: do we sometimes mistake trauma responses for personality traits?
Ooh, we just talked about this.
Yes, we did.
I feel like it could just become a personality trait in a way. If you
It
do it,
becomes you a
yeah,
little bit.
yeah, it becomes you a little bit because it's something that you've gone through and it's an experience that you had that your body had that the body keeps the score. Now we understand the saying because the
Oh,
body
that's
keeps the
saying
score. You
we
feel me? And because the body
ooh,
keeps the score, the body is always going to remember, so it's going to react a different way. You feel me? It's scoring. It needs to win type shit. So therefore, it's going to react as a personality trait.